When did this start? Like, when did Fitness Junkies officially open? 2022?
So our location now, our gym location opened in April 1st of 23.
23. Okay. Throughout the process, man, I know you mentioned, it's not easy. So can you tell us about a moment when you almost felt like almost quitting, man? Can you tell us where there was a moment where you really had to push through and how you did it? What made you keep going, man?
I think for me, as far as finding a moment and where I thought about quitting, and I've thought about quitting a lot in the past, a lot. Even in life in general, man, let alone other things. But I've came to that point now where ever since I opened up the gym, I've never had a thought of quitting. It'd be more about a thought of finding solutions.
Okay.
And I promise you, like, I used to think about quitting a lot, man, and I was able to change my mindset.
Okay.
And it's more of, okay, I've been handed this rough patch, this rough time. I've been handed these bad circumstances, and now I find it as, well, I've gone through everything else in life, and I've had some very rough times, and I almost feel like the challenge now of figuring out how to get over it emotionally, how to get over it when it comes to business, and finding solutions, man. And I think a lot of people find themselves digging themselves in a hole, worrying about the situation instead of finding solutions. And I promise you, to every problem out there that anybody has, there's always a solution. And that doesn't mean it's an easy solution, but there's always a solution. And there's always a lesson behind that loss. There's always a lesson behind that lesson, behind like the heartbreak,
right,
or whatever it is, that hard time you're going through. There's always a lesson behind it.
Yeah.
And I've actually enjoyed going through those, because I have had some difficult times with the gym. We've had slow days. I lost a couple of trainers, and they took a lot of people, and I was like, I had never experienced that because I was never a business owner, where I lost 4,000, 5,000 in a month, and I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do, But then I got to sit back and say, okay, what do I know how to do best, man? And one thing I know how to do best is I know how to market, I know how to communicate, I know how to hustle. So I'm like, okay, I got to get back to the grind. You can't get comfortable. And I have found myself getting comfortable at times when you're hitting a stride. And then when those times come, you're like, oh shit, I took my foot off the gas months ago. And now I have to constantly remind myself, hey man, like, it ain't always going to be easy, So it's just finding solutions, being creative, being able to adjust whatever it is you're doing in your job and in life. If something's not working, adjusting. You don't have to change your whole life. You can adjust certain metrics of whatever it is that you're doing, find solutions, find help. A lot of people don't have too much pride. And for me, I've learned now, being able to rely on a solid foundation of friends, of mentors. You always have to have a little bit of everything in life, man. You can't have too much pride. You can't think you know it all, because you don't.
Right.
So I have my pockets of people, man. I have my mentors, I have my family, I have my friends, and I use them all for certain things. I read, I look at, like the YouTubes for the motivational stuff and stuff like that. Honestly, man, it helps me. And some people laugh about it, and things are on. It's not for everybody.
No, man. I remember it was funny. We had like a little bit of a connection the other day at the gym because I was getting off the Stairmaster, bro. And it was fucking funny, man, because I was literally listening to some motivation videos on this Stairmaster, bro. And then you're like, oh, you're done, bro? I was like, yeah. And you're like, oh, what are you listening to? Or you said like, I used to listen to music, you told me, but you're like, but now I listen to these motivational videos. And I was like, bro, that's what I was just listening to.
It's crazy, man. Like, as you're maturing in life, man, and you're really appreciating life, man, I've turned soft sometimes, bro. I'll be on that treadmill listening sometimes, and some of the shit, sometimes it hits home, man. And it's great because you got to self-reflect. You got to appreciate life. You got to appreciate 100%. The ups and downs, the blessings of being able to wake up to family, to friends, because, time flies, man. We are not eternal, you know what I mean? And those little blessings, I'm in my own gym, and man, I believe it or not, man, I sit there and listen to that shit sometimes, and sometimes people think I'm wiping sweat. Sometimes I'm wiping tears, but it's tears of gratitude.
Absolutely, bro.
And it's just, I get in my zone, man. But I love life now, man. I have this different aspect, this different vision, this different mindset of life where I appreciate everything and everyone, the good, the bad. And it's just like all I'm trying to do now is surround myself around good people and continue to grow, continue to help everybody I can when people want to be helped, and enjoy my family, enjoy my kids, set them up so where they know one day that their dad wasn't a slouch, their dad did everything for them, their dad set them up, whatever they want to do with what I leave them behind, man, that's up to them. But I want to make sure that my kids know that my dad hustled. He never took a break. He worked hard, he earned it. And that's my thing. I'm big on that, man. I got to earn that shit.
No, yeah, for sure, man. And I love that you say these things, man, because a lot of people will look at you and be like, man, you just look like a tough fucking guy. Like,
Yeah.
this tough dude who has like no soft in him. Like he's all like, like CT Fletcher, for
Yeah,
example.
for
And like,
sure.
but it's good to hear that, man. You're super humble, man, and we all need, people around us.
Absolutely, bro.
So
Absolutely, man. It's a lot of that mindset now was very different, 10, 15 years ago,
yeah,
20, 25 years ago when I was younger. I'll be 45 this year, man. And life has humbled me in so many ways. I believe in karma, big time. I believe in wishing things into existence, good and bad. And I've been through it, man. I've been through the gutter. I've gotten in trouble. I've been through that life. And I love it. I love the fact that I went through it because it made me who I am.
yeah,
It,
man.
it, it gave me these life experiences now that I can talk to my kids because I know it's a different when you talk to somebody about problems that you've never even encountered. But when you've had your fair share of everything, you have a lot of experience, a lot of notches in your belt. I could talk to my kid about drugs. I could talk to my kid about, you know, everything you can think of in the books because I've
Yeah.
been through it, and that's why now I'm grateful that I went through it because I use it as a tool for myself and to help others.
Yeah, man. You learned from all your mistakes, man, and that's a big thing, man. Some people just really struggle with learning from their mistakes, and
And I still make mistakes. Don't get me wrong. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, you're
but
human,
the
right?
big shit, the big stuff where, a lot of different things that are important in life, loyalty, being honest, a lot of big things that, like breaking the law, a lot of stuff, man, like, like you learn, like, okay, man, I made that mistake. I see a lot of my friends that went down the wrong path. A lot of my friends aren't here. And those are all things I've learned and I got to experience. And I'm like, okay, I don't want that for my life. I don't want that for my kids,
Yeah.
and how could I be a hypocrite and live my life a certain way and tell my kids to do something else? How come I tell my son to be healthy and I let myself go? How come I tell him
Oh
to work
man.
hard and not me be the example, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I think is I've ingrained into myself. Like I have to lead by example. Us as men, we're leaders.
Yeah.
We are the foundation to our family because as a male, you are expected to be able to handle the hard situations, carry your family when they need to be carried through, be a role model for your kids, take care of your wife and that's just it, man. We're men, we're meant to be tough, but at the same time, we also have a side to us where we have to have that sensitive side for our children
There you
to
go.
be understanding because we've been through
Yeah.
that stuff. We have a lot of roles as men, and that's why I do talk a lot about depression, anxiety within men our age because I've been there. I've
Yeah.
had depression. I've gone through those times, and some people don't like talking about it because you have to show that you're strong.
Yeah.
I don't want my kids to see, oh, I've been depressed. Fuck no, man. I want my son to understand, hey, son, if you get older and you're going through this stuff, I've been there, bro.
Mhm.
If you don't want to talk to me, just have somebody to talk to because I've been there.
Yeah.
You're never too tough to get depressed, and I didn't believe in it until I went through it. Sometimes it doesn't know. Sometimes it's not a certain reason. Sometimes you just feel empty, bro, and I've been through that.
Yeah, man. You can't. People like a lot of dudes, like for myself, like you can be. Sometimes we feel embarrassed to show our vulnerable side,
Yeah,
to show that we're depressed, or to even cry in front of
yeah,
people. And I feel like nowadays these podcasts and these conversations are really helping people really discover like, yo, it's okay to get emotional. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
It's
So let's just to kind of go back a little bit on that topic there. For someone who's out there who's really struggling, who's hit rock bottom, man, who's maybe just got out of jail or who just trying to get off of drugs, you know, someone who hits rock bottom and is trying to give up in life, like, man, what is a message that you would give to that person, man?
I think the biggest thing for me is understanding that you don't have to have life figured out. You know, you don't have to have life figured out, but what you should have is an idea of who you want to be, right? As long as you know who you want to be, then you have hope because you can work towards being that person. Everything takes steps. Everything comes in levels, you know? It's creating discipline. You know, that's the biggest thing in life. You have to create discipline. You have to have a plan. And I'm very big on that because that's what helped me get to where I'm at, you know, is creating good, healthy habits. You know, healthy habits, waking up early, reading. You don't have to have a fucking job and money to wake up early. You don't have to have a job to wake up and do push-ups, but it creates healthy habits that are going to help you for the long run. You know, big thing is being able to reach out and ask for help. You know, if you're having a hard time, ask for help. Look for friends. Don't look for friends that are just worse than you. You know, you have to surround yourself by the right people, man. But sometimes it takes time, but it's okay not to have life figured out. You know, I didn't really figure out life until late in life. You know, I worked like most of us and our parents, you know, our traditional Hispanic parents. I have found that, at least in my sake, my parents worked their ass off their whole life, but they never wanted to take a risk because, you know, you have your good job.
Yeah.
You know, it might only pay you this much, but you could work your job around that. You work your life around that. Don't overspend. Don't take big risks. You have a job. You've been there 7, 8 years, 9, 10 years, and we're comfortable and we want to stay in this pocket, which is good for some people. But I want to teach my kids that there is no limits, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be able to take risks. Calculated risk is what it is. You know, take a risk, but make sure you do your homework. Make sure it's something you love to do. You know, understand it's not going to be easy. You might fail, but you don't ever really lose until you give up. And if you love doing something, just chase it. You know, chase it. Keep working. But you know, it's just there's certain things that, you know, it's hard to teach people, and that's work ethic, discipline. But those are the things that if you're having a hard time, you have to find that. You have to want, I tell my clients, you have to want it for yourself.
Yeah.
I can't want somebody to lose weight more than they do.
Yep.
Right? I can't want you to succeed more than you do. You have to want it. You have to be willing to change. And that's something where you have to self-reflect. For me, religion, my faith, has been a really big help, you know, talking to God. And I say I don't go to church all the time, but for me, I don't have to be in a church. I do go periodically, but I don't have to be in a church to talk to God. I don't have to be in a church to have my faith and keep me aligned into what I need and what I want.
Yeah, no, man. The faith is a big piece, I feel like. And the more I talk to entrepreneurs like you, man, gym owners, you guys are all telling me the same thing, man. So I just want to say, like, have faith, man. Believe in the higher power. Believe in God, and talk to God, man. You'll feel the spiritual connection.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I tell people, man, it's not for everybody, but it's for the ones that want it.
Right.
And that's what I came to understand is, you know, sometimes people aren't ready, and there'll come a point where they will be ready with open arms, and they'll be there.
Absolutely, man. I can't agree enough with that. So, man, I want to learn a little bit more about you, man. You said you grew up in Maryville. So are you from Arizona originally?
So I was born in Los Angeles, in South Central LA, man. I lived out there till I was right before junior high. Moved out here. I have an older brother, younger sister. So we moved out here, and then I went through all this whole little West Side, man. I went to Trevor Brown.
Trevor Brown. And I went to Trevor Brown.
There you go. Hey, you know, so went to Trevor Brown, and then I played soccer most of my life as well. I got a little soccer scholarship that I never used because I was into the wrong things, you know, getting in trouble, girls, you know, cars, and, you know, just hanging around the wrong crowds. So, yeah, man. I mean,
wow.
It's definitely
When did you like what class were you of? Like what
99. 99, man.
I guess how old I was that time?
I'd say about 2 or 3,
I was 3 years old, bro.
2 or 3,
I
yeah.
was 3 years old when you were freaking finishing school, man. That's crazy, man. Yeah,
Yes,
man.
sir.
So you've been out here in Arizona for like
Yeah,
quite a while.
I've been here for a long
Yeah.
time, man. Arizona is home. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love Cali, because my family was all from there. Most of them are still out there. I grew up as a kid riding my bike around the Coliseum,
Wow,
and
that's
that's
cool,
where, I
man.
hear the Raiders be out there. I never got to go, but I got to see some of that stuff, and
Yeah.
that's how I became a Raider fan. That's how when I was a kid, and you were from LA, man, the Lakers, Magic Johnson, and a lot of that stuff stuck with me, all the teams and all that as a kid. I was a fan of baseball, basketball, football, and out there, the fan base is, people might talk shit, but it's a lot more loyal out there than it is out
In
here, for
Cali?
sure, man. People argue with me day and night, but I tell you what, man, I've been to these stadiums where the Cardinals are down, the fans are gone. And especially when I was here in Tempe, when the Cardinals were in Tempe, and I'd been to those games, there was no Cardinals fans out there. When they got the stadium, it started well, and now it's kind of. And when you go to a game out there, bro, they're diehard.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
a
different
different
kind of
energy.
fans, man. So I love it. I love my teams, man. I love my city out there. Part of me will always have that love out there, but obviously, Phoenix is where I'm at, where my kids are at, where my
Yeah.
business is at, where my family's at. So I love Phoenix. I love being here. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else, to be honest with you.
No?
I
Okay.
love it. I love raising my kids out here. It's a lot more peaceful. It's a slower life than California for sure. Less traffic. 'Cause I still go
Yeah.
out there quite a bit.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I really like Arizona, man, too. I just been here my whole life. I kind of wish I could say like, oh, I was born in another state and I came down here, but I'm actually gonna be moving to Washington, so I think I told you, right?
Nice, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, man. So you were from Arizona. Been out here since what year did you come down here?
I finished up the 6th grade, I believe, and then right around when the 7th, I went to Estrella Junior High.
You went to Estrella Middle
Yeah.
School, bro? That's where I went to school
And
at.
so right there, man, Alonso Park right there, that was my stomping ground.
Bro,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
that's where we would ditch and go get in trouble right there. We get
Same neighborhood, man, but
just like
between
20,
different.
20 some years apart.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, that was my old stomping grounds, bro. We used to ditch school. We used to go to Desert Sky. It was called Westridge at the time. We'd go to Metro. What was that high school? Not Metro Center in
Metro
Cruz.
Center, yeah.
There's always that other high school. It's called Metro.
It's called Metro,
Metro.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Go cruise up there, try to pick up girls. Those are the days, bro.
Damn.
That's some cruising cars and style. We were into drag racing, man, and we were into everything, bro. It was good times back then. Definitely, times have changed, man. I look at my son now, and he's 25, and it's a different struggle now as a kid than when I was a kid. I was a
Yeah.
kid, you go hit house parties and there was weed out there and stuff. But now it's like there's so many different drugs and so much pressure now as a kid. Social media's here, which fucks up people's minds
It
because
does.
they're looking at everybody's best pictures, best versions of this. It's all foggy mirrors, what I
Yeah.
mean? And I didn't have to grow up with that, man. I grew up breakdancing, riding bikes, playing sports. I didn't have that distraction where I'd have to look at all these people looking in shape or this or that. It was nothing like that was around. It was just
You didn't have access to like
enjoying life, enjoying the outdoors. And nowadays, it is more of a struggle, man. I would not want to, not I wouldn't want to live my life at this age, in this era. I'm happy we're growing up, just being getting dirty outside, playing with my friends.
Yeah, man. I honestly believe that we need to get people to go back to that mindset and start moving their body, start going out there, start doing things, man.
Yeah.
Because, that's kind of why I like doing this too, man. Because I do want people to see like there's more light out there than just kind of being on social media after work, working that corporate job, getting
That's it,
home
man.
and, scrolling all day on your phone. Then the next day, all over again, work. And then you just don't do anything with your
Yeah.
life, man.
And obesity are at the highest rates in history, probably right about now, and health is not the same because people have kind of closed themselves off to everything's on their phone, man. Like,
Yeah.
everything they're on their phone all day, and it's just everything's different, bro. People aren't out, man. Even I don't know if you know, but like even babies, there's less babies being born now than there was when I was alive. So
Yeah.
so like fertility is at an all-time low because For one, nobody wants to have kids. They're on their phones. The
They don't even
age,
want to spend
the
time with each
average
other.
age of kids getting a driver's license is now way older because kids don't even want to drive. You know, they want to be on their fucking video games. You know, it's just, it's a crazy time, bro. And then to me, it's like, man, like you guys are missing so much opportunity.
I agree,
You
bro.
know?
Yeah, man. Putting yourself uncomfortable situations, man, is really something that would like really help you improve your life, right? So, man, like when you do put yourself out of your comfort zone and you start, you know, start your fitness journey, because when you start doing that, you see doors open for you, man. Like, I can't tell you enough, man. It's unfortunate how a lot of people are not into fitness and are not physically active, man. And truly, I'm so happy you're here, man, because you're very welcoming, man. And I want people to know this. People who maybe have seen your gym and just aren't sure about it and not sure about going to check it out. You know, Henry is a humble man and welcoming person, man. So whatever gym it is, you know, if it's not Fitness Junkies, you know, whatever gym it is, just get out there and put yourself in uncomfortable situations, right?
Find something that fits your style. So I always tell people, and I tell people is, you know, this is why I don't do contracts. We're month to month because I tell people, if this isn't a good fit for you, then find something that is. But find something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and this is like the same thing. Like I just think that the value of health, man, is priceless. You know, it's the value of being in a gym, in a community that pushes you, that is supportive, that can take you so far in life, man. Like the gym for me, I realize now is I love, this is what I do. This is my passion. I love doing it. But the gym has opened up so many doors for me in general. So I always tell people, I love working out. I love owning a gym, but that doesn't mean that's what I might be doing in 5 years. I'll always get to work out because that's what I love to do. But I met lawyers, I've met millionaires, I've met so many successful people in the gym that it's opened up doors for me now. It's opened up opportunities for me to find mentors in different life. I could be doing, you know, commercial real estate, commercial investing in the next 2, 3, 4 years because I know so many people now. But it wouldn't happen if I wasn't in there, in the gym. If these people weren't in the gym, because the one thing is, I don't care what you do or where you're at in life. There is a lot of people out there that care about their health. Successful people care about their health. They see the value in being healthy because you're already making the money. And now they understand that money don't buy health, right? So a lot of successful people are in the gym, you know, trying to clear their mind, trying to stay in shape, and being in that environment where you can meet these people and get to have dialogue, man, and you get to hear their success stories and learn, like, oh man, I could do that, I can learn that. Having them as mentors, it's so priceless to be in there. And that's why I tell people, man, I love fitness, but this opens up so many doors for so many different possibilities. I'm here with you right now, right? Because of the gym.
Yes, sir.
And I met CT because of the gym, and you know, and that's opened up more doors and more doors, and that's the beauty of it, man, is you get to go in there, do what you love to do, mingle with people that are like-minded, and hopefully be able to use some of those relationships, some of those experiences to continue to grow in life, you know?
Yeah, no, man. And that's the point of it, right? That it's not just go in there, work out, you know, just move your body. No, like there's so many benefits that come out of it,
This is where being in a good community, a good fitness community has its benefits. And that's really the difference from a commercial gym where you walk in, it's a box gym. You come in, you get your workout in, you wait for the people. Everybody has their headphones on, and it's get in, get out. If it's not busy, but when you're in an environment like ours, in a private gym where it's so personal because you're around the same people, the mindset is different. You know that the premium might be higher than the $10 gym, but that's because you're going to be in a community that's going to help push you. They're going to help lead a lot of those people in there look good, and they're in there and they're more than willing and happy to help. But you're in a totally different environment where health is at a higher level. It's prioritized in gyms.
You're not just a number.
No, you're just a number. You're in there, you're looking at people, and I'm like, oh man, I want to look like that. I want to look like that. And they're friendly, and you're having dialogue, and you cannot get that kind of community and culture from a commercial gym.
You can't, because people in the commercial gym are in there to get in and out, because
Right.
you have to wait for machines, you have to, and it's just like frustrating, and people aren't even happy in there. You know what I mean? So that is something I'll tell you about Fitness Junkies, man. I go there, never wait for a machine, bro. Maybe it's the times I go, because I know you guys have the peak hours.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
But like, Fitness Junkies, man, has showed me a lot, man, about, private gyms, the difference between a commercial gym and a private gym. You cannot compare it, bro.
Right.
You can't compare it. But yeah, going back to it, man, we cannot emphasize how important it is to start your fitness. A lot of people feel uncomfortable in gyms, right? And you're the only one who can change that for yourself. No one else is going to get you out there. No one else is going to do it for you. So if you're uncomfortable around people, you need to put yourself out there. You need to push yourself to be uncomfortable around people. You know what I mean? And for the most part, man, I just want people to be able to get out there and start moving their body and feel better. Truly, that's what I want. Like, I don't care here to get viral. I don't care to go viral. I don't care to make money off of this. Like, I truly want to provide value to people, and I want people to hear this conversation and be like, you know what? I'm going to go to the gym today.
Yeah.
Never gone to the gym. But that's what I want for people, bro. And I can see, me like you have similar purpose in this, man. So.
Absolutely, man. I think health and mental health all go together. And having a healthy body will increase you, or the possibility of having a healthy mind. You don't want to just look good. You want to think clear. When you're feeling good, when you're healthier, you're able to think more clear.
Yes.
And that's where it's been great for me. For me, working out nowadays at 45 this year, it's not really a physical thing. The physical thing comes with it.
Yeah.
It's a mental thing. That's what kind of sets the tone, keeps the stress levels down. It helps me focus. And I feel good, man. I feel like I'm able to do so much more because I get in there, I get that done. When I'm in there working out, and mentally I'm planning my day. When I'm done, I feel refreshed, and I'm able to do so much more because I've done that for myself. I feel good. You should be taking care of yourself because it's going to filter into a better quality of life.
The quality of life is huge right there, man, because quality of life nowadays is bad. Like, it's unfortunate. I mean, there's a big percentage of people who are not living a good life right now, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, we're not trying to judge nobody. I'm not trying to judge nobody. Like, I want the best for everyone. But yeah, man, when you stay fit, when you eat good, it changes the way your brain works.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of the fast food and processed foods, if you're eating that and you're not in the gym and you're not really being fit, like, you probably have a foggy mind most of the time.
Absolutely, man. Food is a huge driver when it comes to energy,
Yeah.
like brain fog. A lot of that stuff comes from diet and lack of sleep, stress. It's not just the food sometimes or the exercise. It's stress. It's recovery. Your body needs to recover. Your body needs to eat. You need to maintain your stress levels, and a great way to maintain your stress levels is working out.
Exactly.
So everything correlates to your health, man. Everything ties in together. That's why I preach it all the time, man. It's like you could be the most successful person in the world, man, and your stress levels are high, and you're literally reducing years of life with high stress levels. And being able to get into the gym is just gonna make you be able to improve your mental health, obviously your physical health, and to be able to enjoy all that money that people are making, be able to
Right.
that's just it, man. Yeah, absolutely, man. Sometimes that's the missing key to people, man. You have everything, but you don't have your health. You don't like the way you look, so do something, man.
Yeah.
Be motivated, change,
Exactly.
be happy,
Yeah, man. So I want to take a step back because we were talking a little bit earlier I'm just curious about this, man, and I'm not sure how much you want to share, but um, I know Fitness Junkies is one of your businesses. Is there a second one?
So no, man. I mean, for me, so the clothing, so Fitness Junkies clothing is one. My personal training is a whole other job,
Is
right?
that the second EIN?
That's my second. So my one EIN is the gym, one EIN is the clothing. Actually, I'm sorry. One EIM is the gym, which falls under my clothing, and this is where shit that I'm learning, right? I should have split it. And let me tell you guys, get advice from a tax accountant or an accountant or a tax person. So I should have split it, but I didn't. I put it all under the EIN, the clothing and the gym. But I have created a separate EIN now for the supplement company. So that's why that's going to be a totally separate entity, and it's so much easier for fucking taxes to be able to separate everything and get your write-offs according to what different business it is. So
Okay.
I'm actually probably going to end up opening up a umbrella, and it's going to be Fitness Junkies Holdings, and I'm going to swap over the gym to an S corp, and also the clothing. I'm going to have a separate one for my personal training, which is a different
Okay.
business, because being a gym owner doesn't mean you have to be a personal trainer. It's a
Yeah.
separate job.
Okay.
And then the supplements when that time comes. So now, that's the one thing, man. Like I say, I'm constantly learning as a new business owner on different ways to set your company up to, for one, to be more successful when it comes to taxes, not falling behind, because I was behind on taxes. And not because I was gonna owe a lot. It was just because I was so busy. I didn't do them, and then IRS came knocking at my door, and I did them. And you know what? I because the first 2 years of a business, man, I literally invested more than 100, 200,000. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I broke even 1 year I owed, 1 year I broke even, so it kind of helped out. This year, I continue to invest in the gym, which are gonna be my write-offs. Like everything you do, man, I have sponsored athletes. All that shit is shit that I've learned
Yeah.
that, hey, these are good opportunities to use that money, still grow the gym, update stuff, and it's a tax write-off. So it's important to know that in business, man. You have to know the ways to be able to um, improve financially and still continue to grow without owing an arm and a leg, man.
Yeah.
Everybody uses a system.
Absolutely, man. Damn. So the with supplements like that that when should we expect those supplements to
I'm
come out, bro?
excited, man. So I had
Yeah,
I
you
had
got
the
me
sample
excited.
taste. I already used. Just used it last week. I liked the taste from this company.
It's a pre-workout.
So it's a pre-workout. I had two different flavors. The company's called FJ Labs. So be on the lookout for that. I am waiting for one more price quote and one more sample quote from another company because I've learned enough to not just jump into the first one, right? So I'm waiting for another one, and so I can see the difference in taste, the difference in pricing, and then from there I'm gonna decide which one. Once I have decided each one, whichever one I'm gonna use, it'll probably take about 10 to 14 weeks. So it's
Okay,
not
cool.
a fast process,
Yeah.
but once that's decided, it's go time.
Yeah, it's cool,
So
man.
I'm excited because, for one, I continue to grow within fitness. Two, my gym people are very supportive and excited to try it out, and
Yes,
if
sir.
it,
Yes,
and if
we are.
and if it all goes well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create the different blends of the pre-workouts, the high stim, the low stim. I'm starting off with something in between the road because not everybody's a high stim person. Not
Yeah.
everybody likes to drink 400, 450 milligrams of caffeine. I do, but it's not for. But majority of the people are more,
More
mid-road.
tolerance, man.
Right, so that's why I'm gonna start off there, and I have everything done. My labels are all done, at least the images, the designs, and they'll tweak them and do whatever they have to do. But everything's done, man. Now we're just waiting on the comparison of price points, the flavoring from the other company. So I should have that all wrapped up within the next probably 2 3 weeks, and then hopefully be ready to put a deposit down by the last day by
Oh,
the end
yeah.
of February. So
You guys heard them,
it's coming.
FJ Labs.
Slowly but surely, baby. FJ Labs. You're
Let's
gonna see it.
go.
You're gonna see it everywhere. I promise you
Yes,
that.
you are. Yes, you are.
So
FJ Labs, I'm hyped, man. Pre-workout. Looking forward to it.
get your little oomph.
Yeah.
Workout.
Get that pump.
Yeah,
Man. What's your favorite workout, bro? Like, what do you enjoy? Like, what muscle group?
So hands down, no questions asked. It used to be legs, bro.
Okay.
I love to squat. Squatting was my life because I went, I was chasing a number. First time I ever squatted, I maxed out like 185, right, which is like victim weight. And then I got that to 225, to 315, to 405, to 500.
Damn.
So I think my max squat was 535 or 5. I have a video it's posted at 535 for a double. So at 175 pound body weight. That's what I pride on, at 175 pounds. So it's not about,
That's literally how much I
motherfucker can squat 500. There's so many out there, but can you do it at 175 is a question. So
That's strong.
so I pride on that. But with that, I have a blown C5, C6, C7. I got 3 blown discs. I got a fully torn
From squats?
accumulation. The neck, yeah.
Okay.
But I have a fully torn labrum on this. I've had it for 3 years, so it's not attached. So when I press, I can't do a barbell press, but I do dumbbells. But it's the stability that affects. I was able to muscle my way through it to where I can still work out.
Okay.
But definitely the strength is not there anymore. But I love legs, man. But now it's more I love hitting back because that's the only thing that don't hurt. It hurts the bench press. I can't do it. It hurts to hit legs.
Yeah.
But so I like
I would
hitting
never
back.
had guessed that you were injured like that, bro. You look
I'm all beat up, man. I got a fucked up knee. Like I said, I got a fucked up shoulder. I got 3 blown discs. I have degenerative disc disease. I got scoliosis. I have
What do you do for the pain, bro?
work through it, man. I have really bad arthritis on my clavicle. Just weird shit, bro.
Do you feel like pain constantly?
Every day. Every day.
Look at that, man.
I've learned to deal with it, man. Like I can sit back and let it indulge me and sit on my couch and not want to work out so I'm not in pain, or I can just work out and learn to do exercises that minimize it.
Yeah.
That's really what I've learned, because I used to just, when I would get hurt, I would stop working out completely and then I get fat. And now I've learned, okay, if I can't bench press, I can do some dumbbell presses. If that's hurting, then I'm gonna fucking do some flies, or I'm gonna do. And now I've found something.
I saw you on the leg press still.
Yeah, I can still lift some
You
weight,
saw that?
but I just can't squat on a straight bar. At the gym we have a Mars bar. It hooks right here, so the pressure doesn't sit on my neck. It sits here, so I can still put up a good 450. I don't really squat heavy anymore, but I'm sure I can. That's if I don't, that'd be pretty sad. But I think I can still got a good 450 squat in me. But one thing now, it's about longevity. It's not about
Longevity.
the weight anymore. I don't get paid to squat 500. I don't get paid, like to bench press 300 pounds. It's just now I want to be healthy. I want to be strong, still look good, and be able to still work out for another 20 years. And that's the goal,
Man.
So that's everything is shifted, and it should shift, as we're getting older. Priorities aren't anymore. I don't need a deadlift, 500 pounds. I don't need to do that anymore. It'd be great, but I have to be realistic, with your body. Bodies are made to do that. And that's just it. That's the perception. Oh, all these big dudes, they got 180, 300 pounds of muscle on the same bone density than
a regular person.
Yeah. Right. You know what I mean? So it's hard on your body. It's hard on your heart.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. It's great. They look phenomenal. Nothing but respect. But some bodies aren't made to be that big and lift 700, 800, 900 pounds. Is it dope? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
If I could, not anymore. If you asked me 10 years ago, I would love to look like that.
Yeah.
Now, I like to stay flexible. I like to be able to.
Priorities.
I want to be able to move, and I gotta throw some hands. I gotta move, flow. I don't want to be stiff. I like to feel athletic.
Yes,
I want to go able to hit some sprints, lift some weights, play a soccer game if I wanted to, be agile, be mobile. That's more of my personal.
Yeah, longevity, like you said, man. I love how you brought longevity up, bro, because I'm gonna be honest, like, my one biggest goal in life is longevity, because I want to have a family, I want to provide, bro, and I want to have children and grandchildren, I want to be around.
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man, because what is it going to do, like, when you have grandchildren, you're just stuck.
Not being able to walk with them to a park.
Yeah. That's just sad, man.
Everything that we do now, especially, let's just say for you, more me directly, but everything you do now is going to affect down the road. everything I'm doing now, right? So the way for me, for instance, for me, like it's fair to say you've lived about a quarter of your life. I've lived about half of my life now, according to averages, So everything I did from 30 now to 40, 28 to 40 is really affecting now the second part of my life, right? So if I wasn't healthy, I was drinking, I was smoking, I was doing drugs, I've been addicted to drugs, I was partying, fights, everything, right? All of that has taken a toll. So that second half of my life, if I continue to go down that path, all it's doing is shortening up your lifespan, because you're not going to maintain those habits and be able to
Yeah.
expect to live longer. So now I've cleaned up a lot of those habits. I rarely drink, maybe once every 2-3 months, literally. I backed up. I don't do the drugs no more. And, I've cleaned up my lifestyle because now everything directly affects how much time I have longer to live. Granted, God will take us anytime.
Absolutely.
But there are things we can control, and that is staying healthy, eating clean, and it doesn't have to be great. It doesn't have to be 100% clean, but having a healthier lifestyle will get you that many more years in life,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
underlying issues, cholesterol, diabetes, all of that shit. At your age now, you really are creating what's to come,
Yeah.
because if you're eating bad habits now, in 10 years, once you get to that 35 mark, then those risks of the diabetes, the high blood pressure, cholesterol, then that's real.
They'll show up.
That's real because I've been through it,
Okay.
So it's not about being 100% clean, but it's knowing, hey man, doing your cardio is going to help your heart health, eating a clean, balanced diet, taking some of the stuff like the fish oils, stuff now, it's going to be preventative work for what's to come,
Yeah.
and that's going to give you longevity.
Longevity. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, brother. That's facts, man. You were telling me a little bit right now, man. I want to know more about this second location, man. So is that in the works or what?
So, I've learned that everything's in steps. So
Okay.
the gym is rocking. I'm looking into the supplements. I'm upgrading the gym a lot right now. The thing is, I have to get done with this gym first because I have a vision for it of how I want it to look, and it's getting there. But I definitely have to upgrade a few machines that I want. I want to get this pre-workout and have it steady, generating and generating income and pushing it out there because that helps the brand. The clothing helps the brand. The gym helps the brand, and continuing to grow. My goal is to have a brand that's nationwide. I don't say a gym. I want my brand. My Fitness Junkies to me is a brand.
Fitness Junkies is a
And
brand,
so right now, the steps that I'm taking right now to set myself up for the next gym is I'm buying equipment little by little. I'm saving some of the equipment that I'm swapping out, fixing my business credit. The one thing in life people don't understand, and I wish there was classes in high school that really teach kids about being entrepreneurs, but there's not. But the importance of having good business credit, getting your EIN, establishing it, using it, because you could have 2 EINs, build up your credit, get 2 business loans.
Yeah.
And people don't know there's grants, there's this, there's that, the benefits, the tax write-offs. I'm learning this now after I opened up, but I wish I would have known this a long time ago. So now I'm building the business credit, 2 different EIN numbers. I'm building them up. So my goal is to try to get maybe a $300,000 to $500,000 loan for each EIN.
Okay.
And then if I needed to at that point bring an investor, then I would do so. But I'm hoping I want to really build from the ground up.
Yeah.
So I went out to Texas. I do a lot of traveling because I like to look at different gyms and envision what I want it to look like.
Okay.
There's a gym in Texas that I really like, and it's
Which gym?
it's it's Roman Empire.
Roman Empire.
Roman Empire.
What
It's
part
a bit.
of Texas.
It's where were we at? Houston.
Yeah, I
Outside of Houston.
I think I did see
But it's
you post
dope,
about
bro.
it.
It's a barn style building,
Oh.
which is really big out there.
No.
It's huge. It's a huge building, man. It's dope. And I want to be able to find a lot, and I have something in mind already out here towards the 303. And my buddy owns it, so I got my eyes on it. I've talked to him. He's definitely shown interest, So if I can lock it in, I would love to build from the ground up,
Yeah.
and just not have to pay rent, Obviously pay the loan, but it's different when you're paying a leasing company and you never know, you have to renew, and it gets a little scary. But I want to build from the ground up, man, and my goal is to have something about 4 times the size that we have now. I want either a boxing ring or a cage in there,
Hell
some
yeah.
bags, some posing rooms. I want a jitsu room in there, some mats, and then obviously all the weights and everything else. Because that's me.
Yeah,
That's what I love to do, you know?
yeah.
So I definitely want to have something with some recovery in there. And this will be more of the upscale gym. I want everything matching, the lighting, everything. You know, like there's some nice gyms out here, man. There's a Fit Lab, there's track, very well done aesthetically. And I want something like that. Why not? You know,
Yeah.
I want to give my members the option to go to our little old school, you know, grungy gym. And I love my gym, but that's more my style
And I love
weightlifting.
it too,
I
man.
love the old school hardcore gym, and that's what we got. You know, we got our
Yeah.
powerlifters, we got our bodybuilders, we got some newer machines, we got some older machines, a lot of free weights, and that's my style. But I do want to accommodate for the other people. You know, one thing you have to understand is when you're in business and you see trends, either you adapt or you get left behind. And that's just it. Some people think they have the best thing in the world, but then everything evolves. The next thing you know, there's another hot gym, there's another hot gym. If you're not out there trying to see what they look like, what they're doing, you're going to get left behind. So
Yeah.
I understand right now a lot of these gyms have the top of the line equipment. You know, they're bringing out different machines, you know, aesthetics, more lighting. Well, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something that's dope, it's
Hell
fresh,
yeah.
it's nice. It's going to be the AC. You know, I have those
Yeah.
give the people the option to work out here or there because it'll be a dual membership. Give my trainers access to train clients at either one of the locations, which gives them more help.
That's a good idea. I
So,
like
so
that.
yeah, so that's
Yeah.
so the business plan is in place. Now it's just like I said, it's just working towards it. It might take a year or two, but it's gonna happen. And then I speak it now into existence. I'm taking steps, and that's one thing I tell people, man. Like I ask all my trainers, like, what do you want to do, man? Like, what's the 2 year plan? What's the 3 year plan? What's the 5 year plan? They're like, oh, what do you mean? You want to be a trainer forever? Well, no, I think some point maybe I'll do some, you know, maybe open up a gym. Like, maybe is that what you want? We're like, yeah, okay. Well, how are you gonna get there? Well, I haven't really crossed that path yet. You know, I
Mhm.
just well, look, man, like you don't have to do anything financially to make a business plan, you know, but give yourself timelines where you want to make sure you're working towards that goal. Because if not, you'll never
Yeah.
get there. Trust me, I've been there.
Right.
So, hey, man, in 3 months, get your business name figured out. In 6 months, register the name, you know? Pay for the domain. It's fucking like $1 a month to keep your
Yeah.
domain, you know? Go get your EIN, go get your articles of incorporation, go get your banking, you know? Some of them you don't even have to pay. You keep $5 in there.
Yeah.
But now once you have that EIN, once you have that banking, in your mind, you're an official business owner. You're an official
Right.
entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You know, and then once you have your business plan, okay, what is it going to look like? You know, write down your notes. What do I want my gym? What machines do I want? Who do I want to target? You know, and all that's free. You can work, and then a year from now, okay, now what am I going to start doing to really, you know, focus? Okay, how big is the square feet? How many machines am I going to need? Am I going to need turf? I'm going to have 300 square feet worth of turf. That's going to give me an extra or leftover 2,000 square feet. You're going to have machines. You can do all this shit, have everything figured out, and know
Yeah.
exactly how many machines you can fit. And guess what? Once you have all that down, okay, if I want a $5,000 payment or a 10,000 square foot facility, or I got to make $7,000 if I get X amount of members, X amount of trainers, this is what I got to do. I got to save up. I can buy one machine every 2, 3 months. You can do something actively to set yourself up for success. And that's what we don't do nowadays.
Yeah.
We think you have to have all the money up front.
Mm.
We think, oh, I don't have the money. You don't need money to plan a bit to make a business plan. You don't need money to have everything figured out. The money will be the last thing to come, but you could build your credit. You could start applying for grants. You could start applying for loans. You could do all that, but you have to have the foundation first, which is you have to know what you want to do, how you're going to do it. You know, the basic stuff, the names,
Yeah. You have to have a
everything
plan.
done. You know, a plan.
Yeah. And like, man, that's you can't. That's crazy because people have ideas but don't have a plan, right? So I think that's a great point you're making, man, because you can think about it all you want. You can say you're gonna do something all you want, and then how are you gonna do it?
Think
Right?
about how
Yeah.
fast we're done with January.
Yeah.
Think about how fast this year goes by.
Yeah.
And every year you put it off is just one year that it's less, the odds are less of you doing it.
Yeah.
So I literally, I don't care if they're my trainers. I try to encourage them to do it. You know, I don't care about losing a trainer. I want them to do something else. I don't want nobody to be a trainer for the rest of their life. Unless they
Right.
want to. I want you to
Yeah.
succeed, get your own fucking gym, make your own money, and then one day you're gonna help other people do the same. And that's the goal for me. It's like my clients. I don't want to train you forever unless you love me and we get along. Let's go.
Yeah.
But my goal is to get you where you want to be. You're happy. You understand how to work out by yourself. You're comfortable working out because you're gonna send me referrals. So the goal is get you to where you want to be. You'll send me the referrals, and I won't have to worry about nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I do that. That's how I treat my business. That's how I treat my employees, man. I always have that conversation with them. Like, what do you want to do? How can I help you get to where you want to be? How can I help you open up that gym in 2 years, in a year, whatever? What do you need from me? And that's how it should be. We should empower our people to want to succeed, empower them, because at the end of the day, some people don't have anybody to encourage them. Some people, like, I saw this thing on Instagram, man, and I think it was a Steve Harvey quote. He said, when my dad passed or something like that, he was the only person that really wanted me to do better than him. The only person that really wanted the best for me, right? My dad, your dad, is really sincerely the only person in your heart that wants you to do the best. So when your parents gone,
then it's like
you're not going to have that person really rooting for you. And sometimes I think, like, we should have people
to root for you,
to root for us, man. We should have people really wishing for us to do better. The only people that don't are people that are greedy.
Right. Those aren't your people.
Right. And that's why those are the people I gradually steer away from.
Yeah, man, it matters so much, the people around you, man. Yeah, like, honestly, I never had a father figure, bro. I don't know about you, but, for the most part, man, it's just like the people around me, the friends I have, like, that's why I'm in here with you, bro. If it wasn't because of Adolfo, Persist, Orlando, if it wasn't because of those people, I wouldn't be here with you, bro.
And those are the kind of people that you have to know. I was fortunate enough that my dad's a loving dad. My dad's the best dad, bro. He's my biggest fan. But it's nice that I have that,
Hell yeah, man.
But I want my son, and I'm very loving with my son, and I communicate a lot with him, and I always want him to know that I'm his biggest fan. I want him to do better than me. I don't want him to do equivalent. I want him to do better than me, right? But everybody should have that. And that's why I love having the gym, because you get to meet so many people, and when they don't have it, it. I feel it,
you feel it, yeah.
Yeah, so it's always like, man, like, be encouraging, be nice to people. That shit's free, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like, being able to help somebody, giving them advice, like, that's...
You'll make someone's day.
I live my life, and I treat people the way I want to be treated. And it's that simple.
Yeah.
I don't complicate things. When I meet people, I treat them with respect. I treat them with love, because that's how I want to be treated, sincerely.
Yeah.
Like, I walk in a place, I want to feel welcomed. I want people to make me feel like I'm important.
We all want to feel important.
Like I said, it's not for everybody, and it's not always, but it's nice when you're around people that are pushing you to do better sincerely.
Bro, like, the truth is, like, I love that, man, because, like, if you're not like that, if you're not treating people how you want to be treated, nobody wants to be treated bad, right? Like,
right.
So, like, you'll realize eventually, like, okay, it was me this whole time.
Yeah.
Like, people are treating me this way because it's a reflection of me, bro. Yeah. And, like, honestly, that's crazy, because a lot of folks are out there, man, are just stuck in their head. You know what I mean?
I hate arrogance.
Yeah.
I hate arrogant people. I have tons of great friends that are arrogant, and they are good friends, but I stay away to a certain distance, because
that's contagious.
And there's people in my atmosphere that are arrogant, but those are the people that probably don't get invites from me for a lot of stuff, because I'm nobody to judge people, but I do have control of who I want to be around.
Right, because it affects you, right?
It does.
It affects you, bro.
Like I said, that's probably my biggest pet peeve when it comes to meeting people, is that I don't like arrogant people. I like to stay humble, bro. I like to chill, I like, like, I don't like to fucking boast or anything, no matter if I'm up or down. I keep it chill. I keep it the same way,
Yeah.
I still live in Maryville right now. I don't have to live in Maryville, but like I said, it's happiness doesn't define me by where my zip code is.
Right.
Happiness defines me as my lifestyle and who I'm around and what I surround myself with.
Yeah, man. So, have you been working out, like, your whole life, or?
Yeah.
Because you've been in sports.
I started playing soccer at 5, and, soy salvadoreño. So my parents, soccer was all. That was it. You didn't have a choice. That was all you're doing. So when I got to about 15, I found a boxing gym. I really wanted to box, and I boxed inside of Durango. The jail. There's boxing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I boxed with Walt Hawkins, And
You're boxing in there?
yes, I
That's
boxed
cool.
there.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And that's where I learned, and I did that for a few years. And I bounced to Olivares in Glendale, and then some other spots. But in that transition, I found jiu-jitsu to one of my friends, and I started doing that.
Where'd you do jiu-jitsu at?
There's a place called the Proving Ground in Surprise.
The Proving Ground. Okay.
It's now it's a big school, but I started in the garage with the guy first. He moved down from San Diego. He was a brown belt. He wanted somebody to practice with, so he told one of his coworkers, and his coworker said no. But he goes, "Oh, I know a guy that'll probably do anything as long as it's fighting." I love fighting. Bro. I've been to so many fucking fights. It's crazy. I love hand-to-hand combat. I love it, bro. Like, it got me in a lot of trouble, right? So, he hit me up. He said, "You want to learn some jiu-jitsu?" I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I was a big UFC fan already. So when I first started, so I started over there in his garage. We did that for 3, 4 years. Then he got a place, and I kept going. Then I started. I trained 10 years, 10 or 11 years.
It's over 10 years?
I did 10 years.
Did you go up in belt?
So I never did with a gi. So at the time, in that time, you couldn't get a belt unless you did with a gi. And we did no gi because we were out of his garage. You know, he was a brown belt because he did gi, but when he came, he was just training people out of his garage. So then when he opened up the gym, I would only go to the no gi classes, and still to this day, man, I rolled with people that wear gis, but I've never actually even wore a gi. Now you can actually get belts with no gi.
Yeah.
But I'm rusty now, bro. Don't get me wrong. I get fucking manhandled right now. Fucked up knee and neck and back. But I love it, man. It's chess. I always tell you, it's just like chess. You know, it's a very methodical sport. It's literally like more mind than anything else. It's not strength. It's all technique, man. So that's why I loved it. I did that. I did Muay Thai. I still played soccer.
You like Muay Thai too?
Yeah, I did Muay Thai.
Muay Thai, bro. I want to get back into it too.
I love contact sports, man. It really it helped me be a little more disciplined. You know how that goes, man. Yeah. There's a level of discipline that comes with those.
If you're not physically active, man, your discipline's not going to be up there. So, like, honestly, man, there's people out there who really struggle with discipline, but that's because they're very, what's that word? When you're just kind of sitting down all the time.
Complacent, man.
Complacent,
yeah,
or,
for sure.
Yeah, because honestly, man, that's what the corporate life will do to you, right? Especially if you're come through a family. I don't know, man. Like, from my experience, I am Mexican, man. I grew up in a Hispanic culture, and I'm only one out of a very large amount of people in my life that is into fitness, man. It's like I feel like our culture wasn't really like our Mexican and Hispanic culture wasn't really into like fitness like that. So like
soccer or something or baseball, even at that. But no, man. I think as men, we should want to be strong. We should want to be protectors of our family. You know, you got to protect your family, right?
Yes, sir.
What are you gonna do if you can't even pick up 100 pounds if somebody breaks into your house?
Yeah.
How are you gonna defend your family if you don't know how to defend yourself? And so I love it, man. I want to feel like somebody breaks into my house.
You ready?
I'm comfortable in a situation where I have to defend myself or my family,
100%.
I want to know that I'm strong enough and I'm knowledgeable enough to take somebody down and keep them down and hold them down.
Yes, sir. You guys heard Henry, man. If you're a man and you're not out there building that strength, man, you got to start.
Yeah, we got to, baby. We got to be protected. We got to be protected. We got to stay ready. That's what we say. You got to stay ready.
Stay ready. Yes, sir. Let's see real quick here. We're still going. Yesterday I was filming with Gym Giant.
Oh yeah, Hino.
And
my dude, man.
Fucking phone got full of storage.
Hey, I did that with some youngster that washed cars. They came and did that. Did a whole podcast with me, right? It was like an hour.
Oh snap!
And nobody ever checked. And they should stop recording after 12 minutes. Like 12 minutes. Yeah. Swear to God. Like,
but it's all.
Fuck.
That's why I keep checking, bro.
Ya
me pasó eso. Ya me pasó.
Then you could chop it. Every time you record, you can stop it, and you know you're safe. Boom.
Yeah.
But no, estos pendejos, no. Those güeros, bro, they were like, fuck, bro, we have to come back. I'm like, and I can get along with them really well.
Yeah, but you're like, bro.
I'm like, fucking kidding me? Wasted an hour on my day. You're like, damn, so sorry. Never came back.
I don't blame you.
They still want to come, but we never did the podcast again. Yeah. Fucking hilarious.
Yeah, no, man. Man, I appreciate your energy, bro. I appreciate being here, man. And I was really curious, man, like with the Fitness Junkies name, man, that it's very catchy, the name. So like, do you still remember like what is it that made you choose that name, bro?
Yeah, you know what? When I did my business plan and I knew I wanted to do something, so for one, I tend to think marketing a lot because I'm a business consultant. And the one thing I told myself is I love weightlifting, obviously, because I wanted to open up a gym.
Okay.
But I like fitness in general. Like I said, I came from soccer,
Yeah.
boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu. So I'm smart enough to know that if you say Henry's powerlifting gym, you're gonna get looked at as a powerlifting gym. So now you have boxed yourself in to powerlifting.
Powerlifting.
If I would have said Henry's, you know, weightlifting gym, now you box yourself into weightlifting only, right?
Yeah.
So for me, fitness is a broad word where you have football, baseball, weightlifting, boxing,
Everything.
anything is fitness, right?
Yeah.
And Junkies is, for me is when I started working in my backyard, working out in my backyard and I came from Jitsu as I was hurting I dislocated my knee in tournaments 2 times. But I loved it, bro. I fucking trained 4 days a week, 5 days a week. I was obsessed with it. And I became obsessed with lifting weights. The first time I squatted 225, I was like, fuck. And it was like, it's an obsession, right? Like a fucking junkie.
Mhm.
And that was it for me. It was like, I love this lifestyle, man. I don't want to say I live it and breathe it, but this is what I do.
Yeah.
I think about this shit all day long, whether fitness in some type of way, shape, or form. And so I was a junkie for this shit. So then I was like, man, I'm gonna call it Fitness Junkies. And the fitness part is because as a business, you don't want to box yourself in. You want to give yourself an opportunity. If I want to sponsor an MMA fighter, and then all of a sudden, Fitness Junkies brings out an MMA T-shirt, right?
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah, you can.
If
Yeah.
I want to sponsor a boxer, I can drop a shirt that said "knuckle up" or whatever.
Yeah.
I have that where they could be, oh, because it's fitness, I can do that.
They're not gonna
So
be like, oh, it's just weightlifting.
yeah, why would
Like
he
the bodybuilding
why would he
gym.
put a boxing glove on a shirt if it's a bodybuilding gym or a weight? So now I call it fitness, which gives me the opportunity to get into different realms of fitness. So you have to be
Absolutely,
smart.
man.
You don't want to box yourself.
That's really smart,
And
bro.
that's why at the gym I bring in different kinds of machines. I try to accommodate everybody, the people with the plyo boxes, all the kilo plates for the power lifters and specialty bars for the power lifters, the posing room for the bodybuilders, everything in between, because I don't want to box myself in and be like, oh, I don't want to go there because that's only this or
Right.
only that. I want to be like, no, this is a one-stop shop. You want to do some footwork, we got a trainer that specializes in speed and agility. You want to power lift, we got that. You want to do a show, we got to do that. If you want just general weight loss, we got all of us that can help you
Right.
do there. So
That was good. That's
we have to be business savvy, even though, like there's more purposes for my business, but at the end of the day, I need to provide for my family. So I
Yeah.
want to make sure that I'm doing things correctly. I don't limit myself to what I can do.
Yeah, man. So basically, Fitness Junkies, obviously, fitness, it opens doors to almost anything in
Anything.
fitness.
Anything.
And then Junkies like, yo, I'm obsessed.
That's the motherfuckers, the gym rats, the boxing fanatics that are training every day. It's the junkies is anything in fitness that you're passionate about, right? Like
Yeah.
when I was in jitsu, that's it. That was my life, bro. And I was a junkie. I was obsessed with it, right?
It's a mindset.
And I buy every fucking t-shirt for every brand of jiu-jitsu stuff and now it's kind of transitioned, but that's the mindset. The mindset is like we are obsessed with fitness.
Right.
That's what it is.
And man, that's the thing I really want to point out, man. And you're a huge example of that, being obsessed with fitness, bro. And look where it's taking you, bro. Like, look where it's taking you. So like, I want to share this, and then I want to say, like, if you're not into fitness right now, use this as a sign to start. You know what I mean? Because truly, I'm doing this because I want peace for people, man. I'm doing this here. Every interaction I'm having is because I want to provide value to everybody. I truly want people to find peace and see the light in life. And, Henry is a huge example here of what it can do to your life when you start getting serious with your fitness and your health, because it will change how your relationships are, right? It will change just how your day goes. Like, even if you go on a jog and you never done it before and you start eating a little healthier, you're gonna feel within a few days you're gonna feel the difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're a great example of it, man. And I appreciate you sharing everything. Honestly, it's crazy because people won't expect certain things from someone that owns a gym and is constantly busy, man. You're so humble, bro. You're so humble, man. And honestly, when it comes down to Fitness Junkies, man, the environment is so good there, bro.
Thank
Like,
you, bro.
when I walk into that gym, man, I always feel welcome. Everybody's cool, you know. I didn't know what to expect at the beginning, bro. I didn't know what to expect, and you really showed like the environment, the culture there, man. It's welcoming. So I just want to say, like, if you have not checked out Fitness Junkies yet, you need to check it out. If you're in the Valley, if you're in the West Phoenix Valley, go check them out. Get to know Henry. Honestly, you just never know what doors will open for you, just for going in there.
Absolutely, man. Like for me is what I preach to people, man, is sometimes you might be successful at work, or sometimes you might be in starting your fitness journey. But what I found for me is fitness is a bridge to so many more things in life. When you create the discipline of getting up in the mornings and creating those healthy habits of getting in the gym, that discipline, that mindset, when you achieve 10 pounds lost or whatever it is, that feeling is what I associate now with my personal life and business goals. You create discipline in one aspect, shows you that you can create discipline in different aspects of life. If you don't have shit going for yourself, nothing at all in life, and you get in the gym and you build a routine and you say, I'm in the gym at fucking 6 a.m. every day. I'm going to make my bed every day. I'm going to eat clean every day. Well, guess what? Now you have a foundation of discipline. So now you start applying for jobs. Now you're looking for, or you're applying for that other job, but you have the discipline where you're able to now focus. I'm going to apply every other day. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. You've created routines that are going to help you in so many different ways in life in general.
Sure.
It changes your mindset.
It really does.
It helps you create goals, just like you create goals in fitness. How can I achieve, my weight loss? I got to eat this. I got to eat this. I got to get this. Well, this is how you're going to take the next step in life, man. I want to get this job. I have to do this to get to here. Fitness is a way for you to be able to at least start shifting that mindset and filtering that into life. And that's what I love about it, because that's what it did for me.
Facts, man. Honestly, I relate to that 100%, man, because I've been physically active for a long time now, but I do see like it really triggers certain things in your mind every single day. Like when you actually worked out that day, those endorphins will start going through your body and you just feel different.
Confidence.
You feel confidence, bro.
Confidence, man. Confidence will push you to get more uncomfortable doing things that you might have not have done applying for that job,
Exactly, yeah.
Doing certain things, that confidence that you get in the gym when you've achieved certain things will help you so much when it comes to your work, like it really does. Yeah. The cleaners, get in there vacuuming.
I'm gonna lock the door, bro. Shit, my bad. Yeah, I heard the vacuum.
It sounds like probably they're under cleaning.
Hey, bro, let me just